Nice to be back with all of you. Today we'll be discussing about banking and finance for the month of December 2022. Though the PDFs were shared in the beginning of the month, but due to some technical issues, we could not make a public session out of it. But now I think I'm clearly audible to everyone watching us, and we will have a discussion on banking and finance for the month of December 2022. So before that, please confirm whether I am clearly audible to all of you or not, so that without any hesitation we will start the session. तो पहले कंफर्म कर लीजिए कि मैं क्लियरली आपके सामने ऑडिबल और विजिबल हूं कि नहीं, और उसके बाद हम सेशन को शुरू करते हैं. ठीक है. In fact, if you have not subscribed to India's only dedicated banking lateral entry platform, then do subscribe. And yes, this session is dedicated for upcoming promotion exam aspirants and the aspirants of RRB Scale 2, Scale 3 for the year 2023. Thank you for being with us. And yes, if you are unable to make leave a mark in RRB 2022 exam, if you could not make it to the final list, then don't worry. Sometimes you need a setback to get back on your own. So with that note, let's begin. Let's start the journey with Knowledgist. So yes. Banking and Finance 2022. Here are the mega combo batches. All the links are available in the description. Do find out. The first point for the month is SBI raises 10,000 crore via infra bond at 7.51 percentage. You know, time to time, Indian banks raise the money through various bonds to meet their capital needs. So in this regard, State Bank of India, which is India's largest bank, and world's 44th largest bank, has raised rupees 10,000 crore through its maiden infrastructure bond issuance at a coupon rate of 7.51 percentage. The interest rate in a bond is essentially called a coupon rate, and this kind of bond, infrastructure bond, is issued by SBI for the first time in its history. The coupon rate represents a spread of 17 basis points over the corresponding Government of India security. Okay, so 17 basis point spread means above the benchmark Government of India Government of India bond rates. Okay, this is the largest single infrastructure bond issue by any bank in the country, according to a statement by SBI. The amount raised through bonds will be utilized in enhancing long-term resources for funding the infrastructure and affordable housing segment. The tenor of these bonds will be of 10 years. Okay. Yes, please. I will be discussing about all your queries. So let us start the discussion first about the banking and finance for the month of December 2022, the month gone by. तो एसबीआई ने 10,000 करोड़ का इंफ्रा बॉन्ड, जो कि पहली बार किसी भारतीय बैंक ने इशू किया है, वो इशू किया है. कूपन रेट जो इसका है 7.51%. कूपन रेट किसे कहते हैं? जो बॉन्ड में जो इंटरेस्ट रेट या इंटरेस्ट यील्ड होता है, उसको कूपन रेट कहते हैं. ठीक है. एसेंशियली जो बॉन्ड है वो फेस वैल्यू से कम में इशू होता है और रिडीम किया जाता है फेस वैल्यू में. जो डिफरेंस होता है उसको हम कूपन रेट कहते हैं. तो ये जो कूपन रेट है या फिर जो इंटरेस्ट रेट है इसका, ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बॉन्ड का, ये गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के बॉन्ड से 17 बेसिस पॉइंट मतलब 0.17 पॉइंट ज्यादा है, और ये 10 साल के लिए है. और इसको इशू करने का एक ही कारण है कि गवर्नमेंट के पास, सॉरी, एसबीआई के पास स्टेबल फंडिंग के लिए पैसा अवेलेबल हो. एनएसएफआर बेसल नॉर्म्स अगर आपने सही से पढ़ा होगा तो उसमें जो एनएसएफआर आता है, एनएसएफआर के रिक्वायरमेंट के लिए इसको किया गया है. तो एनएसएफआर इज इक्वल टू अवेलेबल फॉर स्टेबल फंडिंग डिवाइडेड बाय रिक्वायर्ड फॉर स्टेबल फंडिंग एएसएफ बाय आरएसएफ. तो जो आरएसएफ है, रिक्वायर्ड फॉर स्टेबल फंडिंग, वो एसबीआई का रिक्वायरमेंट है अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग सेगमेंट और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए लोन देने के लिए. तो उसके लिए उसने पैसा जुगाड़ने के लिए they have raised this bond. Okay, chairperson of SBI is Dinesh Kumar Khara. I hope all of you know that. Now NPCI extends UPI volume cap deadline by 2 years till December 2024. Anything related to NPCI, UPI and digital banking segment is always important for your exam point of view. Okay, yes. यस दीपक कुमार, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। आरआरबी स्केल 3 में बॉब का वैकेंसी देने की संभावना है, बहुत ज्यादा संभावना है। वायबिलिटी प्रोग्राम है, मैं कभी अलग से उसके ऊपर वीडियो बनाऊंगा। अभी पहले क्लास के ऊपर फोकस करते हैं। So the NPCI has extended the deadline for payment aggregators to meet guidelines on volume of UPI transactions by 2 years till December 31st, 2024. Carlyle Group or Bharventa Holdings to buy stake in Yes Bank, and it is as per the Reserve Bank of India's guidelines, master circular on shareholdings of private banks, where you can hold only 10%, maximum 10% of stake. Clear? Yes. Okay, the Reserve Bank of India has issued a conditional approval to each investors with respect to the proposed acquisition by each of them up to 9.9% as percentage of the paid up capital in this bank. Yes Bank had in July announced raising 8,900 crore from private equity investors from Carlyle Group and Advent International, wherein 5,100 crore was proposed to be raised through shares and 3,800 crore through share warrants. The CCI, Competition Commission of India, approved the stake sale in October, and this Bankers Bank Award goes to Canara Bank. Sometimes the audio link was missing, so we're telling it. And these awards are very much necessary for your exam point of view. The Bankers Bank Award 2022 goes to Canara Bank, and this award is given by the Bankers Magazine, which is a publication of the Financial Times. Financial Times is a reputed financial magazine, financial newspaper, established in the year 1888 and headquartered in UK. Okay, and the NPCI extends the volume cap by December 2024 as per the November 2020 guidelines. The UPI third party app providers of UPI cannot exceed 30% of their volume transaction of last 3 months in any month. So supposedly in the month of April, if their business there is a huge business, then they could only be doing the average business of last 3 months plus maximum 30% in the April. So they cannot exceed the volume of average last 3 months. Okay, so as per the latest data of NPCI, the market share of UPI is led by PhonePe with 47% growth, 47% of market share, whereas Paytm 14%, Google Pay 34%. Taking into account the percentage usage and future potential of UPI or any other relevant factor, the timelines for compliance of existing third party app providers policy should not be exceeding the volume cap and that limit is now extended 2 years. So this is just to check that only one app should not dominate the UPI sector or the UPI market. ठीक है, एक ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एक ही थर्ड पार्टी, एक ही एप्लीकेशन पूरा मार्केट को डोमिनेट ना करे, इसीलिए 30% वॉल्यूम कैप दिया गया है। तो किसी भी महीने में पिछले 3 महीने का जो वॉल्यूम है उससे 30% ज्यादा कोई ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं कर सकता, ये वॉल्यूम कैप है। ठीक है, चलिए, बॉब्स गिफ्ट सिटी ब्रांच लॉन्चेस फॉरेन करेंसी लोन अगेंस्ट INR डिपॉजिट्स। आपके जो INR डिपॉजिट्स हैं उसके अगेंस्ट में आप फॉरेन करेंसी में लोन ले सकते हैं। बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा हैज लॉन्च्ड ए फॉरेन करेंसी लोन अगेंस्ट INR deposits of Indian companies for their overseas subsidiaries and joint ventures for its branch in Gujarat Gift City. Okay, the CEO of BOB currently Sanjeev Chada, under the new loan scheme, Bob's International Financial Service Center or Banking Unit, International Banking Unit IBU in the Gift City in Gandhinagar will provide financial support to its overseas subsidiaries or joint ventures of various Indian corporates by leveraging their Indian deposits and providing a loan in foreign currency. ठीक है, आप भारत में जो आपका डिपॉजिट है FD और जो भी रुपी डेनोमिनेटेड डिपॉजिट्स हैं उसको आप प्लेज करके फॉरेन करेंसी में लोन ले सकते हैं जिनका बाहर बिजनेस हो रहा है। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट, न्यू रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क फॉर यूसीबीज, हमने ये इसको पढ़ा है आरबीआई सर्कुलर जिस्ट के क्लास में, सो आई विल नॉट गो इनटू दैट डिटेल बट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। द रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हैज रिवाइज्ड द रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क फॉर यूसीबीज prescribing the minimum net worth of 2 crore for tier 1 banks and 5 crore for all other banks, while tier 1 UCBs will continue to maintain minimum CRAR of 9% on an ongoing basis. The tier 2 to tier 4 cooperative banks shall maintain a minimum CRAR of 12%. All units of UCBs and salary earners UCBs and all other UCBs having deposits of 100 crore are classified as tier 1. Tier 2 are the banks, those who are having the deposits of 100 crore to 1000 crores. So tier 3 are the banks which are having the deposits from 1000 crore to 10,000 crore, and tier 4 UCBs are the banks who are having deposit over 10,000 crores. UCBs which currently do not meet the minimum net worth requirement shall achieve the minimum net worth of 2 crore or 5 crore in a phased manner. Such UCBs shall achieve at least 50% of applicable net worth before 31st March 2026 and the entire stipulated minimum net worth before 31st March 2022. Okay, so you know what is CRAR, capital to risk adequacy ratio. This is very important for risk management point of view and Basel point of view. For all other commercial banks in India, it is 9%, but for UCBs in a phased manner, it has been increased depending upon the tier they are already in. Okay, 9% to 12% is the CRAR requirement for them. Okay. So RBI has revised the criteria for financially sound and well managed cooperative banks, FSWM. We have seen it. The UCBs that are UCBs maintaining criteria to capital to risk adequacy ratio of at least 1% above the minimum CRAR requirement, or and having a NPA not less than 3% among others will be classified as FSWM. अगर वो टायर 1 में है 9% CRAR का रिक्वायरमेंट है और उसके पास 10% CRAR है और उसका जो मिनिमम नेट परफॉर्मिंग एसेट है, नेट एनपीए है, वो 3% से अगर कम है तो उस कोऑपरेटिव बैंक को FSWM के कैटेगरी में कैटेगराइज किया जाएगा. सो दिस इज द क्राइटेरिया फॉर फाइनेंशियली साउंड एंड वेल मैनेज्ड कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स. ओके, इसको हमने डिटेल्ड में आरबीआई सर्कुलर जिस्ट के क्लास में पढ़ा है. You will find it out there. RBI permits overseas Indian banks to deal in financial products not permitted in domestic market. इसको भी हमने RBI सर्कुलर जिस्ट के क्लास में देखा था. तो ये सब रिलैक्सेशन एप्लीकेबल होगा अगर बैंक के ब्रांच गिफ्ट सिटी IFSC इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज सेंटर गिफ्ट सिटी गुजरात में अवेलेबल है. ठीक है. ICICI Lombard, AU Small Finance Bank enter into banca insurance tie-up. You know that banca insurance where bank enter into tie-up with insurance company is called banca insurance. SBI's personal loans portfolio crosses 5 lakh crore mark. SBI is regularly increasing its business foothold in India. State Bank of India surpassed the milestone of 5 lakh crore personal banking advances on November 30. Okay, Razorpay enables merchants to accept credit card payments via UPI. This much news is enough. We'll only be discussing today important news. Then we have MCQs to discuss. So I'm running little fast. City Union Bank authorized to enable GST payments. Old private sector lender City Union Bank said that Goods Service Tax Network under the auspices of the GST Council has included CUB of the banks available for paying the GST. Now all City Union Bank customers can pay their GST dues through their bank account. 4 banks, 4 cities, retail digital rupee from December 1. We discussed it in a separate video that Reserve Bank of India has rolled out the first pilot project for e-rupee in retail segment. First, it has launched the e-rupee in wholesale segment. Now it's launched e-rupee in digital segment. 8 banks have been identified, whereas 9 banks were identified for wholesale segment. In retail segment, 8 banks were identified in a phased manner to deal with person to merchant transactions in e-rupee. Okay. Then ICICI Bank launches stack for companies in real estate sector. ICICI Bank announced that launch of a stack for companies in real estate sector to offer solutions to their banking requirements under one platform. Okay. चरण सिंह सेपरेट बैंक एंड फाइनेंशियल का कोर्स लॉन्च नहीं हुआ है. यू कैन पिंग अस. विल give you adequate course. Digital payment worth 38.32 lakh crore carried out in July to September 2022 period worldwide. Worldline says that more than 23 billion digital payment transactions worth 38.32 lakh crore carried out in July to September through UPI, debit card, credit card, prepaid payment instruments like mobile wallet, fintech firm. Worldline India says in its report. Bengaluru witnessed the highest digital payment transactions in terms of volume at 14.82 million and value and at a value of 36.2 billion from January to October 2022. UPI transactions up by 650 percentage at semi-urban and rural stores in terms of volume. UPI transactions saw a growth of 500 percentage. So the UPI transaction is breaking all its record, all its previous record again and again. So it is important. So it is as per the findings of Retailonomics. Okay, Pay Nearby has done this survey. IDFC partners with Sadhan to provide digital microfinance solution to feature phone users. Saudi Arabia's Moonsat, India's CDB join hands to develop MSME. So related to MSME is always important. Small Industries Development Bank India CDB and Small and Medium Enterprises General Authority of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have signed a memorandum of understanding to develop MSME sector in their ecosystem in both the countries. CDB will be the principal financial institution for the development of MSMEs in India and will also offer its expertise to the newly launched SME Bank of Saudi Arabia. The MOU was executed during the launch of SME Bank in Riyadh, a new bank launched in Riyadh in UAE. Okay. So NPCI introduces single block and multiple debits functionality in UPI. So now in a single block and multiple debits functionality in the UPI interface is introduced. So it will help digital commerce platforms to grow. This facility will enable customers to block funds in his or her account for a specific purpose, which can be debited whenever needed. This will significantly enhance ease of making payments in RBI's retail direct scheme as well as e-commerce transactions. UPI currently enables mandates for recurring transactions and single block and single debit functionality. More than 7 million autopay mandates are handled monthly. So now you will block a certain amount in your UPI and wherever is necessary, you can use it. Like for the purpose of Flipkart, you know that you are doing multiple transactions in Flipkart. So what you can do, you can block 10,000 for your usage in Flipkart, and whenever you need anything from Flipkart, you can buy it automatically without making another payment, without giving another payment instruction in your UPI application. Okay. RBI allows resident entities to hedge gold price risks at IFSC. We read the same in RBI circular gist class. So resident entities from India now permitted to hedge their gold price risk. As we read in RBI circular gist class, I told you often that in all other securities, the retail investors in India could hedge. Like you have a portfolio in equity and you want a risk-free return in your uh, equity investment. Okay, share market investment. So what you do, you go to derivatives, you hedge your portfolio like you take a no, contradictory position, right? But nowadays, so many Indians are investing in gold. Gold is a attractive investment option thanks to the sovereign gold bond scheme, etc. So what happens if the gold price goes down? What are the hedging avenues available for the investors? None. Only the corporate investors were able to hedge their gold price risk, but not the individual investors. Now the IFSC enables the individuals, those who are heavily invested in gold loans, heavily invested in gold bonds, physical golds, and gold ETFs, they can hedge the gold price. That means they can take a contradictory position in gold. That means if the gold prices drop, they will get profitable. So such type of trade they can initiate now in gold price through IFSC. Okay, individual jewelers, individuals can now risk their positions in gold. Susmita Shukla named as VP and CEO in Federal Reserve Bank of New York. So Susmita Shukla, an Indian origin insurance sector veteran, has been named First Vice President and Chief Operating Officer coup at the Federal Bank of New York, making her bank's second ranking officer. So Shukla 54 has been appointed in Federal Reserve Bank of New York's board of directors as first Vice President and Chief Operating Officer beginning from March 2023. Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank, Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance, Inc. Pact for Banca Insurance. This kind of deal happens regularly. So very less time. So rarely they ask a question on it. FPIs caught stake in private banks. So FPIs are quitting Indian private banking sector. FPIs are the foreign portfolio investors. Earlier, the investments in private sector banks were very attractive. So many banks, many organizations were many foreign portfolio investors were venturing into private company, private banks in India. So now the retail investors in India, the domestic investors, DII, domestic institutional investors, are increasing the stake, whereas the FPI is leaving the sector. FBI has been seller in Indian equities between October 2021 to June 2022, pulling out 2.59 lakh crore during the 9 months. So this kind of phenomena occurs like now in Western countries, in Europe and in USA, the interest rate is in rise. So their own country is also becoming an attractive avenue for investment. So when these developing countries offer higher interest rate, the FIIs, FPIs invest in their own nation rather than venturing into the emerging markets. Okay, India's home loan market is expected to double to 48 lakh crore in 5 years, says SBI's report. Kotak Mahindra Bank sells 6.5% stake in Sriram City Union Bank. Pushpendra Sharma want to join SBI CBO interview batch. Interview batch is on, but internal classes are not taking place due to 22nd exam of IDBI and BOM. You can join now or you can wait for the results to come. Okay, then NABARD names KB Saji as its chairman. It's a good news to read into because it could be a potential exam question for most of you. KB Saji has been named as chairman of NABARD. He was formerly served as deputy manager DMD in NABARD. He's an agriculture graduate, so we don't need to go through a lot detail about his personal career. But remember, KB Saji is the new chairman of NABARD. RBI shortlists seven global consultancy firms to use AI ML to improve their regulatory supervision. So you know that RBI is becoming stricter day by day when it comes to the regulatory supervision of Indian banks, NBFCs, cooperative banks, etc. So for that now they are deploying artificial intelligence, and for that they have shortlisted seven consultancy firms including PricewaterhouseCoopers, McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group India for the functions. Okay. Banks should not ask for verification at branch level if customer does eKYC. New guidelines of RBI. So now the eKYC can be done in video mode. So banks should not insist customers to visit branch if they have done the eKYC. So Reserve Bank of India said that they should not ask for verification or updates at branch level in case a customer has done eKYC or those who have completed their KYC norms on CKYC portal. Bank customers who have completed their KYC verification online can do the annual updates as well as changes if any of their personal details online. Okay, so if you have already done the central KYC through one platform, through any bank's platform, then your bank should not insist you visit to branch and do your KYC again or re KYC again. A bank should not be demanding from customers to walk into their branch for verification. Earlier, you know that in KYC norms, if you do a eKYC verification like OTP based eKYC, then within 12 months of such update, you need to visit the branch. Okay, now this mandate is done away with. अभी ऐसा कोई mandate नहीं. Similarly, those customers who are CKYC compliant through the say KYC portal should not be doing any verification at any branch. Okay. SBI introduced email OTP authentication service. The country's largest lender, State Bank of India, has taken the security level of digital transactions a step forward by launching email OTP authentication service. Customers of SBI can now receive OTP notification for transactions made through internet banking at their registered email addresses. SBI gives node to SEBI gives node to AIFs to raise money from APIs. Alternate investment funds in India will now be able to raise money from foreign portfolio investors. SEBI said that at the time of onboarding investors, the manager of an AIF will have to ensure that APIs are residents of a country, the securities market regulator of which is a signatory in the International Organization of Securities Commissions or East Coast Multilateral Memorandum of Understanding. So, SEBI has a memorandum of understanding or agreement with the countries. Those are FATF compliant, those who have a strong regulatory framework. So if the foreign portfolio investors are residing in such a country, then they can invest in India's alternate investment funds. Okay. SEBI's current chairperson is Madhavi Puri Buch, founded in year 1992, headquartered at Mumbai. SEBI tweaks share buyback norms. So share buyback is nowadays not easy. If you go to share buyback news, so recently Paytm has announced a share buyback. So share buyback is like in IPO, you give your shares to the public for the first time. In IPO or in follow-on public offer, for a subsequent time you uh, allow investors, allow citizens of a country to buy your share. So in buyback, what you do when you have excess cash, you buy these shares from public just to make your organization more robust. Okay. And when a share is bought back from the market, the less number of shares are available in the market, so that decrease in supply increases the demand for such a share. Okay. So SEBI also increased the minimum utilization of the amount uh, earmarked for buyback through stock exchange route is from existing to 50% and to 75%. Through if you are raising a buyback through share market, so 75% you can utilize your excess, 75% of your excess cash you can utilize to buy back your shares. Buyback is to be undertaken through a separate window on stock exchange till the time buyback is permitted through stock exchanges. ADB approves 250 million loan to strengthen logistics sector in India, and you know that when it comes to bank exams, be it RRB, be it any CBO, etc., they often ask the questions related to loans provided by World Bank, ADB, supports from IMF, etc. Okay, the Asian Development Bank has approved 250 million policy-based loans to support the government of India's wide-ranging reforms that aim to strengthen the modernize the country's logistic infrastructure. So remember, ADB provided $250 million loan to India for logistic infrastructures. Current president of ADB is Masatasagu Asakawa. Masatasagu Asakawa, I think, is a South Korean resident. Okay. Then GUI repays IL&FS loans to ADB and KFW to fulfill its commitment. So you know that ILFS was having some liquidity crunch. So now Government of India has raised a sum of rupees 1109 crore and rupees 29 crore to the Asian Development Bank and German state owner lender KFW respectively to fulfill the guarantees offered by IL&FS. The government provided the loan guarantee. As a result, it has taken the place of the lenders and entered the list of IL&FS creditors. Okay. The expected rate resolved up to 30 September 2022 is rupees 56,943 crores based on the status report from ILFS. This is greater than the resolution of 55,000 crore that was fulfilled in March 2022. You know that the ILFS failed. Government of India came for its rescue, and in this regard, they have repaid these two loans. Government renames Marathe, Gurumurthy, Iyer and Chaturbedi in the RBI's central bank, and you know the central board. So you know there are The Reserve Bank of India Central Board is governed by the Central RBI's central affairs are governed by its Central Board or Central Board of Directors. The board is appointed by Government of India, keeping in view of the RBI Act 1934. The appointment or nomination is made for 4 years. Official directors are the full-time directors, governor, and not more than four deputy governors. Non-official directors are nominated by the government, 10 directors from various fields and 2 government officials. Others are 4 directors from the 4 local boards from Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. Clear? Reserve Pay cash free to pause onboarding of new customers. Reserve Bank of India asked Reserve Pay and cash free to temporarily stop the onboarding of new customers for their payment processing business due to some licensing issues. Axis Bank takes over Arcom's enterprise arm, Globalcom. So Axis Bank has taken over Reliance Communications enterprise business, Globalcom IDC Limited, for non-payment of its dues. It is through IBC. So Bank of Baroda to divest 98.57% stake in Nainital Bank. The Bank of Baroda has approved divestment of its majority stake in Nainital Bank. The move also aimed at creating more value to this 100-year-old Nainital Bank. NBL was originally promoted by late Bharat Ratna Pandit Govind Vallabh Pant and few prominent personalities of Nainital in the year 1922. In 1974, the Reserve Bank of India directed Bank of Baroda to manage the affairs of NBL. So now Bank of Baroda is quitting that agreement and to make NBL a more robust bank and to take a decision on their own. Bad loans worth rupees 10 lakh crore were written off by Indian banks in past 5 years, worth 10 lakh crore. Okay. So now the scheduled commercial bank have recovered just 13% or 1.32 lakh crore of their total write-off in last 5 years. HDFC Bank acquires 7.75% stake in fintech startup Mint Oak for rupees 31.1 crore. CEO of HDFC Bank is Sasidharan Jagdishan. Partnership between HDFC Bank and Startup India for Parivartan Smartup grants. So this flagship initiative by Indian government is Startup India and HDFC Bank have partnered to establish its 6th annual grant program for social enterprises. The Parivartan Smartup grant initiative seeks to find companies engaged in social impact and support them by providing various financial grants. Okay. HDFC Bank partners with Leaf to offer financial accessibility to farmers. The Leaf is Lawrence Edel, Agro Processing India, Leaf to help farmers in 3 southern states. IRDA, IRADAS inks rupees 4,445 crore loan agreement with SJVN Green Energy Limited for rupees 1,000 megawatt solar project. Reliance Group launches its indigenous FMCG brand Independence in Gujarat. M1 Exchange onboards SIDBI as its financier. M1 Exchange, one of the 3 trade receivables discounting system platforms that are tied up with SIDBI for development in MSME sector. M1 Exchange offers early liquidity to MSMEs within 24 hours. Trade receivables means the MSMEs, especially in MSMEs, the trade receivable discounting is very much necessary. They have the receivables like they are going to be paid their bills. Okay, if some company or some of their customers has taken something from them in credit and they will pay in 3 months, so they have the bill with them. So after the usance period of 3 months, they will be able to liquidate that certain amount. But in between, if they need cash, definitely they need cash for their smooth functioning of working capital. So what will they do? So they will go to any trades platform where they can do discounting of their bill. So that means they will go to a trades platform and they will say that see, 1 crore bill is payable to us in March 2023, and it being the month of January, we need the money. So what will we do? We want to discount it. We want to sell it to you, or we want a finance on it. So there are investors, those who are eagerly waiting to invest in such receivables. They will discount it, or maybe 1 crore was payable to them in 3 months time, so now they will be paid 90 lakhs with a certain rate of interest, or sometimes with a discounted fee with zero rate of interest. Okay, so 1 crore after 3 months is lesser than 90 lakhs before 3 months, keeping into time value of money and the opportunity cost of that value. Okay, if they get 90 lakhs today, they can deploy that 90 lakhs for more engagements, for more production, for more manufacturing, which in a result will yield more profitability to them. So for them, for businesses, for MSMEs, this receivables trading is very much attractive or very much necessary. For that, we have three trades platform in India: RXIL, M1 Exchange, and Invoice Smart. Okay, DBS Bank India partners with GoFrugal Tech to empower SMEs to onward ONDC. ONDC is Open Network for Digital Commerce. It is an initiative by the Commerce Ministry, so that any retail manufacturer or supplier can participate in the digital commerce platform. Bandhan Bank signs MOU with Defense Ministry to extend services to defense pensioners. Indian government allows Lankans to hold $10,000 worth of rupee in cash, especially looking into the conditions of Sri Lanka. There, people now allowed to hold up to $10,000 worth rupee. Okay, banks looking at possibility of rupee trade with Bangladesh and African nation after a successful rupee trade with Russia and Iran. Now the Indian government is looking to extend the rupee trend that will enable a internationalization of Indian rupee. City to wind down consumer banking in China. FIT rank of MSMEs launched by TransUnion Civil, continuing their mission to support banks and financial institutions to sustainably grow their MSME credit portfolio while driving access to finance for undeserved and unserved MSMEs. The TransUnion Civil, in collaboration with Online PSB Loans Limited (OPL), Online PSB Loans Limited is that PSB loan in 59 minutes. Under the mentorship of CDB, today launched FIT Rank, a comprehensive ranking model for MSMEs. Okay, FIT means Fit Ranking Model. Okay, Fit Rank leverages the power of goods and service tax, bank statements, and income tax return information to provide ranking model for MSME lending. Axis Pension Fund crosses rupees 100 crore of asset under management. Surety bond insurance product launched by Bajaj Allianz. Top 50 willful defaulters owe rupees 92,570 crore to Indian banks. The top 50 willful defaulters collectively owe Indian banks 92,570 crore. Willful defaulters are the loan defaulters who have the means to pay but no will to pay back the loans. जो कि willful defaulter किसे कहते हैं? जिनके पास साधन तो है पेमेंट करने का मगर मनसा नहीं है. ठीक है. Gitanjali James, owned by fugitive diamond merchant Mehul Choksi, defaulted on loan worth 7,848 crore. The next on the biggest list is the IRA Infra and Rigo Agro. Banks not required to inform about interest rate change in floating plan. So a bank is not required to inform the borrowers about the increase and decrease in interest rate plan. Okay, it's in a lawsuit. It has been decided by National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, New Delhi, a recent judgment in a dispute between ICICI Bank and its customer. Paytm HDFC Ergo launch insurance policy to protect mobile transactions. Outward remittance under LSR dips 28% to rupees 1.92 billion in October, shows RBI data. LRS is the liberalized remittance scheme. We read about a lot on LRS in our exclusive Forex class. If you missed that, please go through the application and read it. Okay, and you know that what is the LRS limit? The current LRS limit is $250,000 per year. So NSE receives SEBI's in principle approval to set up a social stock exchange as a separate segment. So it will be looking into the CSR activities of various corporates. Japan's MUFG Bank extends rupees 450 crore credit facility to Tata Power. CSB Bank and UB Loans partner to expand lending services. Bank's gross NPA declined to 5% in H1. Please find out all these in our PDF section, and we'll now be jumping into the top MCQ. HDFC receives $400 million loan for green finance from international IFC. What is the full form of IFC? International Financial Finance Corporation. Of it's an arm of World Bank. It's okay. SEBI expands committees on cyber security and information system. Sriram Finance gets $100 million loan from Asian Development Bank. Government hikes interest rate in post office, time deposit, senior citizen savings scheme, KBP and NSC. It's a very important point. Praveen sir has done a separate class on the new revised interest rate. Saving deposit at 4%, 1 year time deposit 6.6, 2 year time deposit 6.8, 5 year time deposit stands at 7%, 5 year recurring deposit 5.8, senior citizen savings scheme stands revised at 8% from 1st of January to 31st March 2023. Monthly income account scheme 7.1. NASC National Savings Certificate of Post Office stands at 7%. PPF at 7.1. Kisan Vikas Patra 7.2, maturing in 120 months. Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana at 7.6%, highest after senior citizen savings scheme, which stands at 8%. Clear? Okay, now first question on your screens. Now time to look into the MCQ part. Okay, in case you have not subscribed to Knowledgist, please subscribe. The PDF is available to our students, will be uploaded in our application too. Okay. Yes. Which bank has recently raised 10,000 crore through maiden infrastructure bond? Yes. Thank you for your answer. It is SBI. Very good. Thank you, Swapnil, Amit, and Pushpendra. Very good. सीबीओ का रिजल्ट जनवरी एंड तक आ सकता है. लास्ट टाइम भी डिले हुआ था. ओके, 15 के बाद एनी टाइम आने के लिए मुझे वाज इन्फॉर्म्ड, बट उसके बाद आई हैव नॉट इंक्वायर्ड. विल सी. नॉर्मली डिले होता है. मैं भी चाहता हूं कि दिसंबर 22 के बाद ही आए. हम पूरा पैक्ड है, इसलिए हम क्वेरी भी नहीं कर. NPCI of India extended the deadline for payment aggregators to meet the guidelines of volume and UPI. So what is the deadline? December 31st, 2024, 2025, 2023, 2026. A, B, C or D? What is the right answer? The right answer is December 2024. No, not C. December 2024. Which bank received the Bankers Bank Award for the year 2022 by the Global Banking Summit held in London? SBI, Canara, HDFC, South Indian Bank. Your answers, please. Which bank received the Bankers Bank Award for 2022? It is Canara Bank. Very good. Reserve Bank of India has granted conditional approval in Carlyle Group and Verbenta Holdings to acquire what percentage stake in Yes Bank? So if you remember, we discussed why this much of stake is being acquired by the Carlyle Group and Verbenta. This is due to the guidelines, RBI's master guidelines on shareholding in private sector banks. And as per that norms, any holding group can acquire only up to 10% of stake. So in this regard, the highest stakeholding is 9.99%. Okay, not 9.9, it is 9.99. Which bank has launched foreign currency loan against INR deposit for Indian companies for their overseas subsidiaries and joint ventures at its branch of Gift City, Gujarat? SBI, Canara, Bank of Baroda, South Indian Bank. Yes, the right answer is C. Bank of Baroda. Very good. We have launched our exclusive crash course on RRB 2023. If you have not joined yet, then you can join now. Which bank has entered into banca insurance tie-up with ICICI Lombard, SBI, ICICI, AU, Bank of Maharashtra? Yes, the right answer is AU Small Finance Bank. Very good. Which bank has surpassed the milestone of 5 lakh crore in personal banking advances on November 30, 2022? Again, same answers, same options: SBI, ICICI Bank, BOI, and Bank of Maharashtra. Yes, it is SBI. No doubt, this kind of milestone can only be achieved by bank like SBI. Reserve Bank of India has rolled out its first pilot project on retail digital rupee on December 1st. The first phase has to be the first phase of the pilot will begin with 4 banks. Which bank is not included in below list? SBI, ICICI, Yes, Bank of Maharashtra. Yes, the right answer is Bank of Maharashtra is not in the list. Which bank has partnered with Southern to provide digital microfinance solution? SBI, IDFC, Yes, Bank of Maharashtra. Yes, it is IDFC Fast Bank. It is IDFC Fast Bank. In an industry's fast move, which of the following companies has introduced the platform's readiness to support credit card transactions on UPI? RuPay, PhonePe, Razorpay, Paytm. RuPay, PhonePe, Razorpay, or Paytm. Very good, Amit Kumar. Right answer. It is no. Amit Kumar is not right. Not Razorpay. It is RuPay. RuPay has announced the platform's readiness to support credit card transactions under UPI. It's RuPay. RuPay card has now enabled. RuPay credit card is now okay with UPI transactions. Saudi Arabia's Monsat partners with which organization to develop MSME in India? NPCI, SEBI, HDFC, SIDBI. SIDBI. Right answer. SIDBI is the right answer. Very good. Who, an Indian origin insurance sector veteran, has been named as the first vice president and chief operating officer of Federal Reserve Bank of New York, making her bank's second ranking officer? Deepak Parekh, Samuel Joseph, Susmita Shukla, Dinesh Khara. She is Susmita Shukla. She is Susmita Shukla, not D. Dinesh Khara is the SBI chairperson. So Susmita Shukla. India's home loan market is currently valued at about how many crore? 24 lakh crore, 12.2 lakh crore, 14.2 lakh crore, 13.2 lakh crore. So we saw that the SBI's report says that in 5 years it will be the home loan market in India will be doubled to 48 lakh crore. That means the current home loan market is standing at rupees 24 lakh crore. Okay. Who has been named as the chairman of National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development NABARD? KB Saji, KB Kamath, Susmita Shukla, Dinesh Khara. The right answer is option number A, KB Saji. Okay, last question for the day. In past 5 years, how many crore in write-ups have been added by banks to reduce their NPA? 21 lakh crore, 12.2 lakh crore, 10 lakh crore, or 13.2 lakh crore? Very good answer. C is the right answer. Rupees 10 lakh crore. Rupees 10 lakh crore. I hope I am clearly communicated to you the entire month's updates in banking and financial sector. There is not a single topic is left out. We have discussed the most important ones, whereas we skipped or we ran through the least important slides of the month. This is going to be very useful for your upcoming exams. And if you loved this presentation, don't hesitate to subscribe us in YouTube, and you can still join exclusive banking and financial courses, RRB promotional exam courses for the year 2023. Thank you for your kind participation with Knowledgist. Hope we will repeat the results like last year. So thank you. You were witnessing the few of our success stories in RRB. More success stories to be published soon for your sake. And hopefully the next 2022 exam, 22nd exam of IDBI will be a grand success for us. And the BOM exam too. These kind of contents are not useful for BOM. So for that, we have professional banking classes. So please rely on that. Today, in some time, I will announce a class on capital market and money market, so that we will cover that section too. And we will leave a space for evening, so that you could have your classes on QRE, which is a greater portion, carries a greater portion of mark for your upcoming exam. Thank you again. Thank you again for being with Knowledgist, being with being with us. Thank you.